Hey everyone, and welcome to Real Life Real Crime Daily for Friday, November 3rd, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino, and I am reaching over and I'm touching Woody Overton. He is back
in the flesh.
Louisiana soil.
Flesh, and to come back, and I'm having to wear a jacket in the studio.
Yeah, he looks
right?
cold. He's got
well, you know what?
the line
Good to be
jacket
back.
going, the long pants. I'm like an idiot who woke up this morning and didn't think anything and put shorts on and froze my ass off on the way up.
29 degrees in Norwood when I left this morning, and I didn't get back till last night till like, I don't know, 8:30 or 9, and then so long trip, good trip. Louisiana Procurement Agency, being able to hunt with the young man who received the kidney from Hero Reese, who I have the band on with my Courtney Coco band now, and Reese's mama and brother were there for the hunt too. The hero. It's just really kind of special. So it was a great deal. Thank you, McLaurin White Televentures and Shane and Tracy McBride for hosting it. And Shane, prayers for you in your surgery today, bro.
Well, and thank you to all you out there listening for tolerating us over the last 6 shows, working with the technology we're working with. I mean, there's really no easy way to do a show like we do from 3 separate locations, because we normally feed off of each other, looking at each other in a studio and finishing each other's sentences, and it's hard to do when you're in that kind of environment. So we are excited to be back in the saddle.
Very excited to be back and with my boys. And you're definitely right. There's a certain chemistry when we're in the same room together. When I reach over and slap the piss out of Mike, I can't do that through this computer screen. And I know the sound.
That's the only benefit is that I retain my piss when.
The sound was far better than other times I've been out of town, so I was very pleased with that. But still, the chemistry is what it is. And let's get into some crime time for Freaky Friday.
Yes, and we are in Louisiana to start it off. The East Baton Rouge District Attorney,
My boy Hiller Moore
has formally filed charges against 3 people accused of rummaging through a doctor's house after he died while taking drugs in his own bedroom. 21-year-old Elizabeth Rios, 29-year-old Curtis Hurd, and 38-year-old Gaynor Fleming were charged Monday in a case surrounding the death of James Greer. He was an ER doctor who was found dead at his home on August 10th. Each faces counts of felony theft, failure to seek assistance, possession of a firearm by a felon, and possession of fentanyl with intent to distribute. You knew that was going to come up. Arrest documents allege that Greer, 43, met up with the suspects at a hotel on North Harrells Ferry Road hours before his death. After Greer asked Fleming whether Rios was free that night, all 4 rode together to Greer's home. There, Greer wrote a $300 check to pay for Rios' company and then went with her into his bedroom. Once inside, Rios says she and Greer stripped down and started using drugs. She said Greer was giving her a massage when he collapsed on top of her, unresponsive. After she ran out of the room, she told Fleming and Herb what happened. All 3 turned the house over. They stole guns, laptops, and other valuables. They then loaded the stolen goods into Greer's Land Rover and used it to flee the area. Greer's body was found days later, and police arrested all 3 suspects about 2 weeks after that.
Wow. I wonder if they had them like on Ring camera or something.
I'm going to tell you, I'm sure, he had to have some.
Greer was a doctor?
Imagine. He was an ER doctor in Baton Rouge.
Did we do anything on that story in August? I don't remember.
I don't remember ever coming across this story.
Me either.
But now that they're obviously formally charged now with they must have some evidence to convict. And man, don't pick anybody up on the side of the road, peeps.
Right. Especially if you're an ER doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And then you wrote him a check.
You know better.
Oh, that's probably part
right.
of it,
Yeah, that's the first
check.
the first time I've ever heard of someone writing a check
For a prostitute.
for a prostitute. Yeah, let me write you a check.
Yeah, let me write you a check.
I mean, that's crazy.
Well, she's make sure the check
Prostitute
didn't
that
bounce.
takes checks.
Hate that form.
Highly traceable for the John, not usually the preferred method of payment. But
Crazy. Well, this one is pretty crazy too, y'all. And I do not think that we covered this, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But after nearly a month-long manhunt, police have arrested a suspect in the murders of a New York City woman, her dog, and her friend. On Thursday, officers captured 31-year-old Lenu Moore, who was accused of shooting Jackie Bellini, her pit bull Zeus, and her friend Levon Harvin on the street near the 165th Street in Washington Heights on September 29th.
Earmuffs, babe. Earmuffs.
Oh, yeah. Moore faces charges of murder, criminal possession of a weapon, aggravated criminal contempt, and ag cruelty to animals in connection with the September shooting. Officials said the neighbors, Moore and Bellini, had been having a dispute for months over her pit bulls barking in her apartment. How many times have we had these neighbors killing each other and over stupid shit like this, right? She had difficulty with him based on noise complaints from the dog, NYPD Chief of Detectives said at a press conference. In addition, he committed a burglary of her apartment in which he broke her arm and beat another female companion. Holy smokes. Moore was charged with burglary and assault for that incident that happened in April, and afterwards, Bellini got an order of protection against him that prohibited him from approaching her or contacting her. Well, that didn't really work out, did it? Shortly after he was arrested, Moore was released on bail. Police said that Bellini had feared for her safety after Moore's release from jail, and when asked her friend Harvin to walk with her, she walked her dog down the street. Kenny noted the male victim, Mr. Harvin, was actually helping her walk the dogs because she was in fear for her life because of this guy. Around 6:30 p.m. on the night of the shooting, Bellini had been walking with Harvin and her dog when Moore walked up behind them, dressed in a black, wearing a mask, and fired at least 6 shots.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy, y'all?
People
really
just can't
crazy.
deal with their disputes anymore without killing somebody.
Well, it's also the nature of apartment living has changed, because it used to be you lived in an apartment in Manhattan, you left that apartment first thing in the morning to go to work, and you didn't come home until whatever time in the afternoon. Now, so many of these companies are virtual, and so many of these people are working from home, where the dog wouldn't have bothered somebody back in the day because they wouldn't have been home for the dog to bother them. And the apartment living in New York is such a weird thing, because it's not like it was portrayed in Friends.
Yeah.
You may be somebody who has a ton of friends,
Right.
but you're not getting chummy with the people on your floor in apartment. You live a very separated existence from them for the most part. I never lived in a building where there was that sort of friendly thing there, and so rivalries and problems tend to come up because of noise between tenants. And now, when you exacerbate that with people being home most of the time instead of gone most of the time, it's a recipe for this kind of thing.
Are the apartments small? Like when I say New York City working, the hotel rooms are so small compared to a regular hotel room. The apartments that much smaller.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you got a dog and they're barking all hours of the night, as small as my hotel rooms were, and shit like that.
It's ridiculous.
I would kill somebody behind it, but
my son, who just had a baby, they live in Brooklyn, and so they had to go from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom apartment. But the 2-bedroom apartment is like 900 square feet.
Wow!
And they pay $8,000 a month for the apartment.
For $900,
it's insane up there.
That is crazy.
It is absolutely insane.
Well, I don't know what they do in New York City, but I know what Jim did when his beloved pet died, and I know what I'm gonna do. We were raising English spaniels, and my pets die. I'm going to Louisiana Pet Crematory and with Roy and the Christians in.
Yeah, for sure. And in New York City, I don't recall there being anything like that. We actually lost a dog as a puppy in New York City.
Like you could bury it in the backyard in New York City.
I was gone. I was away on a trip, and God, I hope you're not listening, Jerry Ann. And Jerry Ann was walking the puppy, who was about 2 months old, and he got off the leash and ran into Manhattan traffic and got hit by a cab. It was horrible. And she brought him to the Humane Society, they did something with him back in the day, but nothing like what you can get with the Louisiana Pet Crematory and those guys.
Something to put them in and all that, right?
Well, hopefully Zeus was taken care of in some kind of way.
I don't know.
Okay, so we've done lots of stories about artificial intelligence over the months, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but the White House came out and has made some official rules and created some task force and laws that are going to go into effect regarding artificial intelligence. So I want to tell you about that. President Biden's concerns over AI have intensified, which has led him to take action. Biden signed a sweeping executive order Monday regulating the development of AI, saying he wants to prevent AI from making social media, quote, more addictive or from also abetting fraud. Biden noted that he's seen a deep fake video of himself, and he seemed pretty off-put by that. His concern sharpened after he watched Tom Cruise's latest action-packed Mission Impossible thriller, according to the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, a guy by the name of Bruce Reed. If Biden hadn't already been concerned about what could go wrong with AI before the movie, he saw plenty more to worry about, Reed said. I guess I'm glad they didn't watch Team America together. What would have come out of that? But Reed said he watched the film with Biden at Camp David earlier this year. The movie features a dangerous AI device referred to as the Entity. Did you guys, either of you guys see that? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so this AI device is referred to as the Entity, and the Entity tracks down Ethan Hunt. We all know Ethan Hunt is the Tom Cruise character. All while hijacking and sinking a Russian sub, manipulating video footage of characters' faces, and impersonating human voices. These AI features are known to be a concern for Biden, who Reed said has been profoundly curious about the technology of AI. I wish he'd be profoundly curious about some other things. But Biden had also witnessed AI technology create, quote, fake AI images of himself and his dog, and had seen it perform the incredible and terrifying technology of voice cloning, Reed said. Under the first of its kind action, companies such as Google, Amazon, and Microsoft-backed OpenAI will be required to share safety test results with the government whenever they train an AI model that poses a potential, quote, serious risk to national security, national economic security, or national public health and safety. I heard an interview, which is an interview I recommend everybody listen to if you can, that Elon Musk did with Joe Rogan the other day, and Musk was headed to this event after that interview. President Biden is rolling out the strongest set of actions any government in the world has ever taken on AI safety, security, and trust, Reed said in a statement on Monday morning. It's the next step in an aggressive strategy to do everything on all fronts to harness the benefits of AI and mitigate the risks. So, look, I seriously consider this. How much more effective could an AI version of Biden be than Biden himself? I mean, someone's probably thinking about this. I mean, it wouldn't be hard at all to declare some kind of reason that he's not going to do public press conferences anymore, and then you could have the press conferences done via video with AI, and at least we'd get proper sentences strung together. You could have the AI climbing up the stairs to Air Force One. I mean, there's there's probably a little fear behind God that they're doing this for other reasons. So it's probably good he's setting up this thing. So, if you're worried about that, that may be their solution there. So the government getting involved in AI, folks.
There you go.
I wonder if it's because something's already been fucked up.
Well, you remember we did a story where a lady had a daughter who she thought was kidnapped because they used AI to fake the daughter's voice. So I think they're I hate any sort of regulation just as sheer principle, but there's got to be some safety measures being looked at, because any sort of technology, whether it's AI or anything, as it evolves, the people out there that aren't the good people are going to take advantage of it.
It's the same thing like firearms. I mean, they can still regulate it however they want to, and if somebody wants to misuse it, they're going to misuse it.
That's right.
Well, and folks like Musk, who really has been involved since the genesis of AI, is outspoken publicly about the need for some kind of control on further development in the space. It's a serious issue. So it's not only good they're doing something about it, it's good the people they've got involved in doing something about it.
And I listened to, after all our stuff again on the drive back from Wisconsin, I was listening to part of the Joe Rogan thing, and it wasn't even Joe Rogan. It was a whole series they have of Joe Rogan with artificial intelligence interviews, and it's his voice and like Donald Trump's voice.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, what the? And then I'm wondering, how much would it cost to get me a original real life real crime episode just to see what it would be like?
Yeah.
Interesting. Right. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes, plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser-cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it
at the base of my TV and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gifts to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Well, we'll move on to the next, and I'm going to tell you about someone in the UFC known as the Black Beast.
The Beast.
And we'll get into what he's done to get himself into a little bit of trouble, but I'll tell you a quick story about him. His name is Derrick Lewis, and he's a heavyweight fighter, big guy, and obviously with the name Black Beast, he's black. But he's almost like one of these big teddy bears. He's known to crack jokes, and after fights they'll interview you and he'll have all these jokes. I'll never forget, I was watching a UFC fight. He knocked a guy out, and after the fight Joe Rogan actually is interviewing him, and because he commentates for the UFC. So he said something to Derrick Lewis, and while he's talking to him, Derrick Lewis pulls his shorts off in the middle of the ring, and all he's got on underneath is like a cup, almost like a cup. You know how the ass is out of the back, jockstrap. And Joe Rogan says, "What are you doing?" He's laughing, and Derrick Lewis looks at him and he says, "My balls were hot." And it was probably the funniest moment, because you would never, only Derrick Lewis would you expect to say that.
Yeah, that's funny.
But he's gotten himself in a little bit of trouble, y'all. UFC heavyweight Derrick Lewis was arrested in Texas on Wednesday after driving a red Lamborghini 136 miles per hour in a 50-mile-an-hour zone.
That'll get your balls hot as well.
Yeah, his balls were real hot that day. And, it's a Lamborghini. Right. It's kind of hard to keep it under 100. Right. But that's a major problem. Harris County court records show that Lewis was charged with misdemeanor reckless driving and released on $100 bond. So it sounds like they kind of, maybe that he's from that area. Well, I know he's from Texas, Houston, I believe.
Harris County is Houston.
Yeah, so they probably knew Derrick and let him off a little light, but they say he was swerving in between lanes and that school buses were on the road during the incident, which, that's not good. Lewis also passed a law enforcement officer while doing this driving. I bet he did. Passed him at 136.
Right. Well, that's how they knew how fast he was going. They clocked him.
That's right. The arrest came 10 days before Lewis, who actually has the most knockouts in UFC history with 14. He's scheduled to highlight the UFC Fight Night in Sao Paulo, Brazil on Saturday. Lewis is set to face Brazilian Jalatin Almeida, who is 19-2. And Lewis has challenged for the UFC heavyweight title twice. He lost to then champion Daniel Cormier, Lafayette boy, by submission in the second round of UFC 230 in 2018, and lost to Cyril Gane by third round TKO at UFC 265. And that's this Saturday he'll be fighting, and I can tell you, I'm not going to be watching it. That's right. It's Alabama.
You're forbidden to watch it because it's LSU, Alabama.
That's right.
The fight will be on later than the football game.
But we'll be good and drunk by then, Mike.
I'll be rolling.
You can't watch,
see anything.
You can't watch a fight drunk.
Last year when we beat them, I think they were number one, and we beat them. I distinctly remember rolling around on the floor of my bar.
Yes.
After eating a whole stuffed hog stuffed with boudin and wrapped in bacon.
There you go.
Okay, well, all I know is that guy better have to go to freaking traffic school. If I had to go to traffic school for doing, 81 in a 70 or something.
Yeah, but you were flying your G7. That's a whole different thing there. You went to air traffic school.
No, that's right.
I wish I went to air traffic school.
We didn't mention at the beginning of the show, it is Alabama Hate Week.
Oh, it's Alabama Hate Week? That's a thing?
Yeah. That's huge around here.
It's a big thing.
They have an LSU Hate Week as well.
That's right. It's
all our Alabama peeps, it's all in good fun.
It's a big deal. Go Tigers. Y'all, that's tomorrow because this will be released on Friday.
That's right.
Go Tigers.
We don't have enough hate going on in the United States right now. We need a little Alabama Hate Week.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I'm going to tell you what.
At least that's a good reason.
Where I'll be watching LSU Alabama and stuffing another hog and smoking it, I won't have Grubhub delivery service. All right. Now, I've used Grubhub. I travel a lot, as y'all know. And I use Grubhub. I actually think I'm like a yearly member or whatever the plan is for the discounts. But this is a good one. So Ago refused to do this story as he's still recovering from the Ritz-Carlton semen water story from the other day, y'all. That was an amazing story, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Jim's looking at me like, Jim's put it out of his memory. It affected him so much.
Water bottles and all.
I still bet that dude's not kissing his wife.
I do a salt test on all my water.
So, but a Utah man was infuriated and left in shambles after he took several strawfuls down his throat before he realized the milkshake he ordered from Grubhub was full of piss. Not ice cream.
Not the flavor he ordered.
Now, Ago was talking about, we all worked in the service industry, and I might have put a booger in your salad. Well, someone filled this. This is almost comical, but it's not. Milkshake full of piss, not ice cream. So Caleb Wood said he decided to order fries and a milkshake from Chick-fil-A off the Grubhub app, but knew something was up after he took a few sips from the beverage. He claims he became very sick afterwards. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it tasted nasty, but I don't think you really.
I don't know.
Get sick
that,
for
man. I'm puking everywhere.
People puke their brains out after that.
Okay. All right. So he said, when I started eating my meal upon delivery, I put a straw in my cup that was delivered and took a big sip, Wood said. I soon discovered that the cup delivered to me from the Grubhub driver was a warm cup of urine. Wood said he immediately called the driver back to his house and let him have it on the phone for basically poisoning him with a cup of piss. And footage from Wood's home security camera shows the moment the Grubhub driver returns to the home and comes face-to-face with him. Now, if I'm your driver and I pissed in your cup, I ain't going back to your house, right? But anyway, did you confuse the cups? Because, dude, it's half full of pee, Wood calmly goes as he holds a styrofoam cup while approaching the driver outside. Do you realize this is pee? Wood says the driver expressed to him what happened and told him he had 2 styrofoam cups in the car, but confused his milkshake for the urine-filled cup.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, who amongst this table hasn't peed while going down the road?
Oh, I've done.
Yeah, but usually you grab a styrofoam pea cup and you grab a styrofoam cup full of milkshake. There's a little bit difference in the temperature on your hand.
Yeah, well,
you
maybe
you should have a clue.
Well, Wood says the driver expressed to him what happened and told him, I told y'all that. He confused the cups. But the driver also admitted he clocks long hours and relieves himself in the car because he doesn't really take bathroom breaks. But the bizarre storyline gets even better. Wood said he called Grubhub to get his money back, though he wasn't quite given the compensation he desired. I think it cost like $25. They refunded like $18. The extra cost of the food. They didn't refund the delivery fee or the tip that I gave. Grubhub has since put out a statement regarding the revolting alleged incident. We took immediate action with the driver and ended his contract with us, the company said in a statement. We're following up with the customer to apologize and our coach and representative who was previously in touch with the customer. What the fuck? Hey, now I'm going to tell you something. You better check your shit when it comes in, whether it's DoorDash, Grubhub, or Uber delivery. Almost every look. I've had them. I'm watching them bring in my shit on the map at one of my houses or whatever, but not in the hotel. And I don't ever go to doors. I do the contactless delivery,
Me too.
And they say they dropped it off and shit and take a picture and send it. It's not even my house. And then I got to go to the neighbor's house and try to find my food and shit like that. Or they guaranteed to get something wrong. You know why? Because they don't give a shit. It's not the driver, but the people in the restaurant. Like, fuck it, it's another Grubhub delivery. But I never got a cup full of pee, and I never stayed. I have stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, and Mike said $700 a night. It was a hell of a lot more than that. And I never got any cum in my water either.
Yeah. I never drink another bottled water.
To me, the scariest part of that story is even when it goes right, you know that a lot of these drivers are out there all night doing exactly what this guy's doing. So he probably just spilled piss all over his hand a minute ago before he put your burger on your front doorstep.
Yeah, but the bags are wrapped. They got stickers on them. It's like an evidence bag.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, sometimes I ain't eating that motherfucker if it don't have a sticker on it. Hey, if it ain't closed, I ain't opening it. Because I know there's agos out there be putting boogers in your shit.
Well, the downside of the contactless thing is that you don't, it comes through on your phone, but you were doing something else, so you weren't paying attention at that moment. So they're long gone, whoever dropped it off, and you go out and you're missing an item or something.
But my bag is open, I'm not fucking with it. I'm calling it back. I've returned the shit. I'm complaining. Usually they'll refund you something back, Yeah. But it's been more of a hassle, especially when you're really hungry or drunk and hungry and you want your food and they deliver the wrong thing or they don't deliver it or whatever.
Yeah, see, I don't remember a time where I didn't at least, taste test one fry out of the bunch of fries I was bringing to the person. I mean, come on.
God dang, Mike.
You had a big thing full of fries, and
don't hire Mike at a restaurant. Jesus,
Mrs. McGillicuddy is giving you all kinds of shit about where her order is.
The one brand we won't be investing in is Ago's restaurant for Agoettes.
If there's ever an Ago restaurant, I ain't eating there.
Come on.
I'm staying away from that. He probably had that meth in the soy sauce too.
At least I own the shortcomings of my past.
Holy shit, Mike! Whatever you do,
mistakes of my youth.
Whatever you do, don't tell the list of restaurants that you own because we know you own all kinds of restaurants around the world.
That's right.
Yeah, restaurateur, Mike Agovino. Okay,
shoeless.
Let's go to Ithaca, New York.
Ithaca, that's probably the hardest kicking shotgun ever made.
An Ithaca shotgun.
I
did not know that.
Your dick in the dirt. Yeah.
Well, once upon a time, that little town was known as a great college town because it has both Ithaca College, which is a good liberal arts school up there, and Cornell University, which is an Ivy League school. And really, those are the only two things that exist in Ithaca, New York, where it snows like feet of snow.
Yeah.
And gets colder than hell. But federal authorities arrested a Cornell University student on Tuesday after he allegedly posted threats of extreme violence against the school's Jewish community. Patrick Dye, 21 years old, a junior at the university. He's from Pittsford, New York, which is just north of New York City, was arrested on a federal, actually Pittsford is near Rochester, I'm sorry, was arrested on a federal criminal complaint charging him with posting threats to kill or injure another using interstate communications, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of New York. The complaint against Dye alleges he posted threatening messages to the Cornell section of an online discussion site, which included calling for the deaths of Jewish people and carrying out a mass shooting at a kosher dining hall located next to the Cornell Jewish Center. In a post, Dye allegedly threatened to stab and slit the throat of any Jewish males he sees on campus, to rape and throw off a cliff any Jewish females, and to behead any Jewish babies. He threatened to bring an assault rifle to campus and shoot, quote, all you pig Jews, Unbelievable.
Crazy.
This guy faces a maximum term of 5 years in prison, a $250,000 fine, and a term of supervised release of up to 3 years if convicted. Jewish students on the university campus in Ithaca were put on high alert on Sunday night after at least 6 screenshots allegedly taken from that same website displayed online threats from anonymous users who said Israel deserved what happened on 10/7 and eliminate Jewish living from the Cornell campus, etc. Cornell officials confirmed earlier on Tuesday that authorities identified and placed a suspect in custody. That would be Mr. Dye. Joel Molina, the vice president of university relations at Cornell, released a statement saying that the Ivy League campus remains shocked and condemned those horrific anti-Semitic threats and believe they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. FBI Director Christopher Wray testified the other day to the U.S. Senate and said that Jewish community has been targeted by terrorists really across the spectrum, including homegrown violent extremists and foreign terrorist organizations. This has gotten just absolutely crazy. We had something happen at Tulane, which is a school with 40% Jewish student base, where a student was attacked with a flagpole the other day.
You know what? I'm so sick of all that shit. That we just need to end racial hatred, whether it's white on black, black on white, Jews, religious, whatever. I don't even know if racial is the right term, but all of these people hating people behind ideas and they don't know the people, fuck that. Quit it.
I agree.
It's
and look, the media in this country is culpable in all of this because the shit the media stirs is unbelievable.
I understand the media stirs shit, but people have to have hatred in their heart, and 99.9% of it's for no fucking reason other than some idea somebody sold them. You put a Jewish baby in I wouldn't say Hamas baby, but whatever Palestine, whatever you put 10 different babies from 10 different backgrounds in a sandbox. You know what they're going to do? They're going to play together.
That's right.
And that's how it should be.
Well, and look, probably 80+% of these people who are participating in these protests that are going on across the country don't really know why they're there.
I just want them to stop.
You know, they don't really understand the cause. They don't know the history. They don't know anything. They just want to protest.
Peace.
Be a leader, not a follower.
Peace.
All right, we're going to go to Michigan. And Woody, you're going to be real tempted to interject, but I want you to save your comments to the end.
I will.
On this one, because I know you have some experience with this. We'll talk about that as well. A prisoner has sued the Michigan Department of Corrections after having porn intercepted by guards. An inmate serving a life sentence at prison in Michigan's Upper Peninsula says his First Amendment rights were violated after guards intercepted pornography that was mailed to him. John Alexander, 57, is seeking $60,000 from the Department of Corrections after prison guards at the correctional facility prevented him from receiving the adult entertainment sent to him. Alexander's friends thought it would be a nice gesture for his birthday when they sent him issues of Foreplay magazine. You can't make that up. YKTV, the makers of the magazine, specialize in prison entertainment, a niche market for sure. Now, Foreplay is not what anyone would consider hardcore pornography. This from attorney Todd Perkins. More like a Playboy or Whiskey GQ. Perkins isn't directly involved.
I'm learning all these things. I don't know about Whiskey GQ.
Yeah,
I
Whiskey
didn't know about
GQ.
The Jail TV. That's another one.
Jail TV.
Or whatever.
YKTV. They were just the makers of the magazine. So Perkins isn't directly involved in the case, but he did weigh in on the unique lawsuit, and he used a couple of examples. That's not uncommon for me to see that, and I have seen those type of lawsuits that are currently within the system and some successfully litigated to completion. But when it comes to lawsuits relating to prisoners and pornography, there's only one. It was introduced into the federal system before being dismissed. Alexander, who is serving a life sentence for second-degree fleeing from a police officer in Wayne County, hopes to turn his suit into a class action case and is trying to recruit fellow inmates to join him, arguing his First Amendment issue. He also authored a protest letter to a corrections officer who replied the directive not to deliver the nudie mags. Likely that came from Lansing. Sources close to the Department of Corrections speculate the reasons the magazines were intercepted because anything close to depicting sexual violence could incite a security issue. A spokesman with the prison system said they were aware of the complaint but declined to comment.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. First of all, your First Amendment fucking right when you locked up for whatever it is you locked up for, you can go fuck yourself. Secondly, the state of Louisiana, and you know what story I'm about to tell. These two guys from Livingston Parish picked up this young kid in their neighborhood and enticed him into the house, brutally raped him numerous times all night long, and then took him out by the riverbank and shot him numerous times like a dog and left him. And he was a young boy. And they both got the death sentence, rightfully so. One of these fuckers on death row. Now, you're not allowed to have porn in prison, in case you didn't know. For obvious reasons, that makes you horny and you want to fuck. And
that's like a major violation.
And this guy's on death row, and they shake down his cell, and he's got gay porn. All right, which is doesn't matter which type of porn. I'm just telling you what it was, gay porn, and they seize it from him. He sued the state of Louisiana and fucking won. They had to give him gay porn back, and it went all the way up to like the Supreme Court. And guess what? This douchebag is still alive to this day. And he's the longest running living death row inmate in the state of Louisiana. He's been now like 40 years or something. And guess what, bitch? We got a new sheriff in town. Our new governor's coming, and Jeff Landry is about to reinstate the death penalty. And then you can take your porn to the fucking coffin with you.
If it's illegal to have in prison, how did he win?
Exactly. You tell me. I don't know. I don't figure it out. It went all the way up to whomever, and they gave it to him. I don't know. It's a waste of time. I mean, you got people involved in real fucking lawsuits that have real suffering, and these assholes are sitting around 24 hours a day like this one getting $60,000 for whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I agree.
I just stupid.
Shop early, save big all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Right now, get select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at just $59.98. Don't wait to save. Shop these deals today, in-store or online, because Lowe's knows deals. Discount taken at time of purchase while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for University Housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right. Here's another idiot, and this really should be dumb criminals. Back to Ago's birthplace, not the city, the state. A 43-year-old man from Manhasset, New York, stands accused of pointing.
That's where my mom lives.
Really?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not her neighbor.
I knew that one.
Accused of pointing the gun at a 6-year-old boy who went to retrieve a goodie bag that he and his sister accidentally dropped off at the wrong address over the weekend. On Saturday, at approximately 7:25 p.m., a 42-year-old mother drove her 3 children and nephew to drop off the Halloween goodie bag at her daughter's friend's house. At the home, the woman's 10-year-old daughter and 6-year-old son reportedly walked up to the house, rang the doorbell, and left the candy bag on the porch. Police said the family drove down the block when the daughter realized they had dropped the candy off at the wrong home, so they went back to get it. The 6-year-old boy got out of the vehicle and approached the front door when Michael Wren stepped out of the house and pointed a black handgun at his head. A 6-year-old, right? The 6-year-old boy told police Wren swore at them to leave his property. So he pointed the pistol in his face and was cussing at him. Police arrested Wren without incident on charge of second-degree menacing and endangering the welfare of a child. And Wren told police, I just wanted to scare him. Anyway, he pled not guilty. He's got to go through a mental evaluation, whatever. Fuck him.
All over a Halloween goodie bag.
What the fuck?
Mike?
A 6-year-old.
Is that how they act up in that city?
A 6-year-old? I don't know. That's no excuse for that.
It's bizarre because I saw that story and I didn't, wherever I saw it, it didn't contain Manhasset, but it had a lot of defense of the guy's actions. The guy has 3 little kids, and there had been people banging outside of his house earlier. So the guy was scared to death and didn't bother to look at. He actually had a Ring camera. Had he looked out it, he would have seen it was a 6-year-old. And
don't ever point a firearm at anything you don't intend to kill. It's a 6-year-old boy, and unless he is some genetic freak of nature that's 6'2" when he's six years old and had a pistol or something. Fuck him.
No, I mean, the guy's dead wrong regardless of anything that was going on.
If I was that boy's dad, I'd beat that dude's ass. That's what would happen.
That may happen. Moving right along. You know, a lot of people are talking about the oppressed people on this planet.
Mainly you.
There's stories about that. But people don't often think about sharks and the ways in which sharks are oppressed.
Oh, God, another shark story.
And I am, as you guys know, I am the show shark expert. So,
where's the crime? Is there a crime involved?
Oh, yes, certainly.
All right.
By the way, you are on board probation. Jim, you can ask me. Jim, do you want to ask me if there's a crime involved? No.
Fuck the board.
You just came back on Real Life, Real Crime turf.
Fuck the board.
You just entered the trading zone.
Hey, the board's oppressing me.
I wouldn't be taking on the board right now.
I'm kicking the board.
No. Stop. Let me help you. As your lawyer, I advise you to be nice. In these times of, quote, mostly peaceful protests and daily activism across America, not all marginalized groups are represented. Today, I'm here to report to you about an oppressed group that truly needs your support. You often hear Woody report on the plight of the otter or dolphin or manatee or emu, or Jim speak of the challenges facing the octopus or eel. But as the show's official shark correspondent, I am here today to speak up for our often misunderstood toothy pals. A black-tip shark was brutally murdered by 2 men in New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
Good eating. You got to cut them up.
See, you're part of the problem.
You got to run the fillets.
This horrific display of animal cruelty is saddening. We are reporting this story today to urge the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission to recognize the brutal murder of the shark as a crime and asking them to seek justice on behalf of the shark and to provide more stringent hunting regulations so that atrocities like this do not continue. Unfortunately...
Wait. It's not hunting. It's fishing.
Unfortunately, the prevailing attitude toward sharks in Florida and throughout the United States is often negative. Sharks are commonly feared and are the subject of inaccurate tales involving the threatening of human swimmers and ocean goers. In reality, shark bites don't happen that often and don't even hurt that much. Fishermen, fisher persons in particular tend to have an irrational dislike of sharks simply because sharks eat many of the same fish that fisher persons are trying to catch for money so they can feed their families. These fisher persons are unwilling to tolerate shark competition despite the fact that the sharks can't very well go shopping somewhere else for food. It is unfair that sharks are violently persecuted as villainous predators of the ocean because of fears perpetrated by lure and a fish shortage. Sharks need us to speak up for them. We need you to reach out, listeners, to the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Committee. make a call today. You can say something like, hello, I'm calling about the black-tip shark who was viciously murdered by 2 men in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. I urge you to recognize that a crime has been committed and to seek justice for the shark. You can also join our March for the Sharks protest being held outside the gates of SeaWorld San Antonio on February 30th, 2024.
If you have no life.
SeaWorld has, this is serious, SeaWorld has seal trainers, whale trainers, dolphin trainers, and numerous other trainers, but not a single shark trainer in the entire company. If SeaWorld would include a great white, tiger, or even a mako in their shows, a lot of the stigma about sharks might go away. Yeah. Think of it this way. If sharks didn't have the rows and rows of super sharp teeth and the ability to detect 1 drop of blood in a million drops of water, no one would see them as evil. So just pretend they don't have teeth and can't smell and repeat what we chant at all of our mostly peaceful protests. In the rivers and in the seas, all sharks must be free. In the rivers and in the seas, all sharks must be free. Thank you.
Christ, where do you come up with this shit?
That was a metaphor.
Hey, the only crime would have been is if they didn't know how to properly clean that black tip shark, because you got to cut it into fillets. You got to run the fillets under cold water until the bubble stops coming out of the meat, and then they're good. Otherwise, it tastes too fishy.
Oppressor, shark oppressor.
No, shark eater.
Yeah. Hunter,
got to
shark
eat.
Hunter.
Survival of the fittest.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
Tiffany's back.
And we got some music.
Tiffany never sounded better.
Mile High Crime Time. And we're going to tell you, we brought you a story it might have been just a week ago, a little over a week ago, where a pilot was sitting in a jump seat and tried to take a whole plane down. Mm-hmm. Got another crazy issue. I don't know what's in the water with these pilots, but a former Delta co-pilot was indicted earlier this month, accused of threatening to shoot the captain of a commercial flight last year if he diverted the plane because a passenger on board may have been suffering a medical emergency. A Utah grand jury indicted Jonathan Dunn on 1 count of interference with a flight crew. Dunn was working for Delta as a Delta first officer at the time of the incident. Dunn, the co-pilot, had a disagreement with the captain, who wanted to divert the plane due to a passenger's medical event. Dunn then told the captain that they would be shot multiple times if the flight was diverted. Dunn was authorized to carry a gun as part of the Transportation Safety Administration's Federal Flight Deck Officer Program. Flight deck officers are airline pilots authorized by TSA to be armed in the cockpit on domestic flights. They undergo special training to do so and are provided with a TSA-issued weapon to defend the flight deck against an attempted hijacking. The 2-page indictment said Dunn did assault and intimidate a crew member of an aircraft and did use a dangerous weapon in assaulting and intimidating the crew member. Delta said Tuesday that Dunn was no longer employed at the airline and refrained from commenting further.
Holy sweet. I didn't even know they allowed them to carry firearms.
I knew you had air marshals,
yeah.
Supposedly, but apparently there's a program for that.
And there's always some asshole that's going to mess it up for everybody else.
If you divert this plane, I will shoot you.
I got to get home to my wife's spaghetti.
What the hell, man?
Oh, that's a good one. Mile
High Crime for today.
There you go.
Frightening.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
Thank you, Tiff.
Oh, there's the music we love right there.
Kiki Crimes for Friday. And guess what, boys? This one is one of the best of all times. It really is. So we always talk about fetishes and shit, right? Well, I don't think this is really a fetish. It's just a bit odd. I mean, because everybody does it. That's but right. This woman has definitely found herself an odd fetish. Well, maybe not. Not a fetish, but we'll see. Back in September, a woman in Florida was arrested for getting it on with herself.
Hey, that's a crime?
In front of a 7-Eleven.
Oh.
Okay. So the charges were eventually dropped. And on Saturday, she was arrested again.
Again?
For getting it on with herself in front of a Popeyes.
Oh, my God.
So 7-Eleven wasn't the right atmosphere.
Right.
She moved over to Popeyes.
So in the September incident, 38-year-old Vanessa Lee Jones of Newport Richey, Florida, was arrested after she was arrested for getting it on with herself in front of the 7-Eleven. She was charged with felony, lewd, and lascivious exhibition, but prosecutors decided not to pursue the case as she was released from jail. Then on Saturday, Vanessa was arrested again for doing basically exactly the same thing outside of a Popeyes, only a few blocks from that 7-Eleven, y'all. Only this time, she was fully naked.
Hey.
Right? And getting
Go big or go home.
That's right. And getting it on with herself in front of the dumpster. Right? Must have been a scratch and sniff type thing.
Oh, wait, she wasn't. I thought she was in a car. What she was doing?
No, she's out there just getting it on, and so she was arrested for exposure of sexual organs. But listen, it gets better.
Exposure.
The police report says she was not under the influence of drugs, so no meth involved or alcohol, and she has no signs of mental illness. Right? So they asked her. I said, "Lady, what you doing? Why you doing this?" And she said, when asked why she continued with her public displays of masturbation, she said, "If there's one thing I learned in human life, it's never, ever, ever let a good orgasm pass you by."
There you go. Hey,
woo, she's a hero.
I just learned something from her.
Did she
never let a good orgasm?
Did she have like a piece of extra crispy in one hand and the other hand?
I don't know. Well, maybe 7-Eleven, she got one of them long dogs or something. I don't know. But
that must not have been Mr. Patel's 7-Eleven.
No, I'm sorry.
If it was Mr. Patel's, he would have.
Yeah, we don't have any pictures of this one, but I'm just going to give her a shout out for staying in touch with herself and
giving us such good
advice. But you know what? Don't do it in front of kids and shit, lady. Go do it at.
That's like the Yoda of masturbation,
right?
You know, never let a good orgasm pass.
I told you, police work is the greatest show on earth.
Yes,
that's your kinky crimes for.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised 7-Eleven couldn't keep her business. You know,
right?
If it had been Mr. Patel's store, he would have found a way.
Dead sober and
found
everything.
a way to keep her there.
Never let it go.
You got some banjos for me?
Never let it go right.
Here they are.
Banjos are back.
The banjos are back, but Dumb Criminals is not.
What?
Because I have special dispensation from the board because of Mr. Overton's little misstep, allowing me to present poetic justice today.
Did it with a shark story. What's this going to be about?
Shark story is perfectly valid, and you're one of the reasons why that story needed to be told.
I tell you, fuck the board. I'm on strike.
So I've got poetic justice. I'm calling this World War III. Uh-oh. The end of the world, it seems to be near. Just get on a roof and you can see it from here. How did this happen? Who is to blame? Who was it set the world aflame? Open borders, Ivy League geeks, active shooters, and transgender freaks. 2 generations ago, they began targeting the schools, indoctrinating kids, playing parents for fools. They call us colonizers, settlers, and capitalist thugs. They teach equity, racism, and give everyone hugs. They became activists, organizers, and tilted the culture. And if you argued, they'd attack you like an angry vulture. They, them pronouns, mostly peaceful protest and gender-affirming care, impeachment, insurrection, and indictments to pair. Look at your phone and turn on the news. All you hear is, "We hate the Jews." Others are even raising the stakes and chanting, "Fuck the United States." China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia, the new Axis evil, are preparing a crusher. The enemy of my friend is my enemy, so against the Axis, surely we must be. Destroy America, rip out its heart, tear patriotism, religion, and family values apart. This battle within distracts us abroad, so we leave Afghanistan and look like a fraud. Our leaders are weak and the rest of the world knows. The moves they have made, this clearly shows. Russia in Ukraine, Iran attacking the Jews, eyes fall to Taiwan where China may light a fuse. American leadership was never more needed, but feeble Joe Biden's already defeated. United we'd stand, divided we fall. New blood is needed for us to stand tall. Two men less popular, there never have been, than Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden. Trump might win or he could be in jail. Either way, half the country wants him to fail. I pray each night on behalf of my kids for someone or something to halt our skids. From now until then, fight on we must. In time we'll emerge and answer, I trust. World War III. Which requires banjos because these guys are speechless.
I don't even know what
pre-existing knowledge. And now I'm all done with your board stuff.
I am good with the board. You are now reinstated.
All right.
As of poetic justice. And
that was interesting.
The 1,700 listeners that wrote me asking for that segment.
We'll say
you're welcome.
We'll say that was interesting,
to say the least.
Right? Can be all kinds of comments behind that shit. Well, that's fine. All
right, and I got one more for us today at WTF. How about that?
What the?
That's right.
You got a theme song yet?
I don't, but I'm working on it. I got something cooking.
All right.
So we're going to bring you to Maryland, and Maryland police are searching for a driver. They said hit a man with a car, then dumped his body on the side of the road. After being called to conduct a welfare check near a neighborhood on Saturday, officers discovered a man lying by the side of the road. The man, identified as Franklin Mendez, was confirmed dead at the scene, suffering from trauma. But here's the WTF part. Mendez was involved in an unrelated minor collision earlier that night about 2 miles away. The 28-year-old stepped out of the car, which is when another car crashed into him and became lodged into that car's windshield. The driver traveled those 2 miles with Mendez lodged in his windshield before dumping Mendez's body near a road. Then he fled. A door cam footage camera showed the moments the car pulled up, where Mendez's body was later found. The neighbor who filmed the car found Mendez's body and reported it to police. WTF, they still haven't caught the guy, but the police say the driver's car is a 2011 to 2017 gray Honda Civic with a large white decal on its back window. There would also be damage to the car's front bumper,
I would imagine,
and on the passenger side and fender, as well as a smashed area of the windshield. Wow. WTF. 2 miles lodged in the windshield. The guy never stopped.
You know, that would be a great beginning to a superhero where the guy becomes, because he gets smushed in there with a bunch of bugs that have been smushed into that windshield. And so he emerges from that half man, half bug. And it's kind of like The Fly, how that thing came together.
Third man, third bug, third glass. And then he can shoot bullets of glass.
That write it down. We own that idea. We own that idea.
Y'all F with that idea. Hey, for real, I've worked several cases where people have been hit, and they usually, if they hit them fast enough, they hit that windshield and bust, and they roll over it.
Yeah.
This dude
got stuck in it.
So I wonder if he just locked up his brakes 2 miles down the road and spun him off, or if he had to get out and physically remove him from the windshield.
Well, the way they described it was dumped him, so it almost sounded like he had to pull him out.
How many cars have a giant white sticker in the back, the rear window? Somebody knows who that dude is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, go home and explain that to your insurance company, where the blood and DNA and hair is all stuck in your windshield. But what the fuck?
Well, we want to say go Tigers.
Yeah.
Bama.
Go Tigers. Woo. Real quick, y'all, if you ever go to listen to Real Life Real Crime Daily or Original Real Life Real Crime, which comes out on Tuesdays, and you can't find it, or you see it, a show has been downloaded in X amount of days, please hurriedly, if that's a word, as quick as you can, message us and let us know, because and it hadn't happened in a lot of years, but this past week we had some issues with a couple platforms, and we're on like 20 different ones that showed that they were running, but they weren't actually running. And fans were like, where's the episodes? Where's the episodes? We didn't really, we didn't know what was going on because we weren't notified. And then after some investigation, we found out that they, in fact, were not getting the listen. And of course, we want it to be convenient for y'all. And we appreciate and love each and every one of y'all. But if you ever have any kind of problems, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're monitoring social media pretty much 24/7 almost between all of us that are doing it. But back in the house with my boys, thank you, gentlemen, for taking care of me when I was gone. And thank you I'll tell you this off there. But yeah, thank y'all, and love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you for liking, listening, and sharing. We just love y'all.
Yep.
Bless.
That's it.
Your sanctions are over. You're a free man.
That's
clear.
I broke the chains.
Broke the chain.
You broke the chains.
What's that movie with Django Man?
Yeah. Django Unchained?
Yeah.
Classic. I can't get my wife to watch it. It's too sad. She won't watch it.
Anyway.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yep.
All right, until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino.
For Real Life, for Real Crime Daily, peace.
Aglets.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.